Welcome to Raw Take, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm Archie the Kid, and I'll be your host for this episode. Listen, before I get started, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share the video and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on any uploads. Also, you can find us on all of the most popular podcast platforms like Spotify, iTunes, and so forth. So go ahead and check us out on there as well. So, all right, you heard that. Now let's jump right into this thing. So, a recent shooting in Arvada, Colorado, resulted in a couple of deaths. So there was a shooter. The shooter by the name of Ronald Trarkey. He's labeled the bad guy in this shooting. He actually walked up to a police officer after grabbing a gun out of his vehicle and ran up and shot the cop. So, in fact, let me just show you this news clip.
Through the alleyway toward the square, the suspect pulled into an area behind him and parked his truck. The suspect exited his vehicle with a shotgun and proceeded to run towards Officer Beasley from behind. The suspect yelled at Officer Beasley, at which time Officer Beasley stopped, turned, and was immediately shot twice by the suspect. The suspect then proceeded to shoot out windows of patrol cars parked in the area nearby and fired shots into the air as well. The suspect then returned to his vehicle and exchanged guns. He then went back towards the square. Mr. Hurley then confronted the suspect and shot him with a handgun.
The threat to our officers and our community was stopped by a hero named Johnny Hurley. Johnny's actions can only be described as decisive, courageous, and effective in stopping further loss of life. What happened next is equally tragic. A responding Arvada officer encountered Mr. Hurley, who was holding a rifle, and our officer shot him.
All right, so the officer that was shot and killed, his name was Gordon Beasley. As you see, the perp, he walked up, ran up behind the cop, and yelled for him. And the cop, as soon as the cop turned around, he blasted him, shot out some police car windows, and probably had intentions on killing some more people. So because he ran back to his vehicle and grabbed a different gun, apparently he had ran out of bullets in that one, grabbed a different gun, and while on his way back, he was approached by a civilian by the name of Johnny Hurley. Johnny Hurley had seen the he had seen that what the guy did, and but prior to this, Johnny's brother had called, and I'm sorry, not Johnny. What's his name? Ronald Trarkey. His brother had called the police, and it was a plea for help because he said that his brother may do something stupid, which he did. It did cost him. I think he died as well. I'm not really sure. I do know the police officer died. I do know Mr. Johnny Hurley, who was the hero in this, died. What happened is, after he had shot Ronald Trarkey, then the cops, when they did arrive, well, they had got a call already, so they seen the guy with the gun and shot him dead. My problem with this is that when the cops showed up, why didn't they yell freeze or, drop your gun or something of that nature? It's like, shoot first, ask questions later. I understand them being on edge and all of that, but there should still be protocols. This is why we're always preaching police reform. Because if they don't know how to properly handle things and all they are taught to go out there to do is shoot first, then this police killing is going to continue to happen. Now, we have a civilian who was the good guy who had took out the bad guy to potentially save other cops from getting shot, along with other people maybe, was gunned down as a thank you. Now, I know they didn't intentionally shoot him. They don't know which person was the good guy, bad guy. That's the one they seen with the gun. Apparently, they didn't see the other guy because he was already down from getting shot. So now we have Johnny Hurley that lost his life. But here's another thing. Johnny Hurley should, in my opinion, and this is not to take anything away from him because he did his thing. You know, I'm sure he saved some lives with taking this guy because he was on his way back with a whole different gun to shoot more people. But the thing is, you're not a cop. You're not a law enforcement. This is the problem that putting a gun into everybody's hands create. You got people who want to be, heroes. Of course, you got the bad seeds that, may want to rob people or shoot people or whatever, but you also have those who, now I have a gun, I can go help the cops. No. That is not your job. You have a gun to protect yourself. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against like protecting other people or helping other people. But there are people who are better fitted for that duty. And civilians are not those people. Now, again, yes, police need more training on how to not just shoot first and ask questions later. However, they're still better equipped. They're a little bit better organized than just a civilian. I believe that he'd still be alive, of course, if he had not, played the hero. Now, people are like kind of overlooking that fact. They're just looking at, well, this guy, he saved lives and he shot the bad guy and then they killed him for it. They killed the hero. Well, you shouldn't have been playing the hero. Come on. That is not your job. They were on their way. Now, like I said, he may have saved some more lives. That's great. I take nothing from him. I have respect for him for even standing up to it. At the same time, it is not his job. How many other people is going to have a gun and feel like, okay, I have a gun now, so I can get out there and save someone. I can get out there and do the whole vigilante thing. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. And this is what we're facing by putting a gun in everyone's hand. Because you have people who feel a little bit more tough. It makes them maybe a little bit more bold. And yes, people need to take a stand, but come on. Playing the hero against a gunman? No. I mean, he could have gotten killed by the gunman. He just happened to be able to sneak up on him while he shoot him in the back. But what if he had seen him? Nevertheless, there's two different perspectives, or maybe even three, because there's this perspective of you shouldn't have played the hero in the first place. That just, it was good what was in your heart to do, but it was not a good thing to do at the same time to actually take that action, because either way it go, you risk your life, and it's just, in a shooting, it's just, that's not your job. Leave that to the so-called professionals. But then there's the other perspective where the cops, when they got there, they were coming there on a call about a gunman. So, they shouldn't have shot him before saying, hey, freeze, put your gun down. That's the other perspective. And if there's a third, you guys have to let me know in the comments or whatever. But I just feel that his death could have been avoided because he took matters into his own hands. It's good, but it's bad. Because, what if everyone decides to do that? Come on now. Then guess what's going to end up happening? You also end up having just civilians killing other folks because they thought that they were bad guys. Come on. If the cops can make that mistake, so can we. And it's not a good thing. So I see this thing. It went south for Johnny. It should have went south for Ronald because he, And some people saying that it was a mental health issue that, a social worker or something like that should have went out there. But it was also a shooting. I mean, can we not overlook that, please? You're going to send a social worker out because someone is obviously crazy, but they're shooting people. What is the social worker going to do? I mean, come on now. That's no better than the cops shooting first and asking questions later. So you don't want to send no social worker into a life-threatening situation. I mean, that doesn't make sense. So this is why, again, we need police reform. Cops need to be better trained. They need to have a broader training, so that they can know how to deal with it. Now, I know the cops already are trained to attempt to de-escalate the situation before shooting. Cops just take it upon themselves to shoot first. And sometimes that's bad judgment. Sometimes it's bad judgment. And this was a bad judgment call because they killed the person that was trying to protect them as well as other people. So what are we really doing here? Cops, it is not okay to just blast first. Find out who's who. And I understand that if two people have a gun, you don't know, the cops don't know which one is the good guy. That is why it is important to command them to put their gun down. Because if it's a good guy, he's not going to contest that. A good guy is just going to put the gun down because they don't want to get shot. They want to have a chance to explain, hey, I was trying to do this, I was trying to do that, please don't shoot me. The bad guy may still put their gun down because they don't want to get shot. Or the bad guy will show them exactly who they are. Either way, they don't lose their lives. Because if it's a bad guy, especially a bad guy that's like just mentally crazy or something, then they need help. And a bullet is not going to help them. Now, in his case, maybe the cops could have stopped this guy without killing him. But we'll never know. He'll never know. So it was a man that needed mental health help that would never get it because someone took it upon themselves, took the law into their own hands, and shot him. Now, he wasn't shooting at him because Ronald wasn't shooting at Johnny. Johnny shot him in the back. So, listen, everyone who's watching this video, if something like this goes on near you, you have your gun on you, don't play the hero. Please, don't play the hero. Leave it for the cops because you could lose your life either by the bad guy that you're trying to playing a hero towards, or you can lose your life with the cops. Remember, I don't care how they're trained right now, they shoot first and ask questions later. And guess what? The bad guy's going to do the same thing if he's already shooting people. He doesn't care about shooting you. So don't put your life in that much danger to do a job that's not your job to do. Because then your life is also at risk. I get it if people want to be good Samaritans, but there's a better way to do it that's more safe for you. So again, this may sound contradicting what I'm saying in this video, but I commend the guy for being brave and for wanting to take that stand. But at the same time, I just think that it wasn't a good call, obviously, because now he's no longer here. And like I said, he would have still been here had he not made that call to take the law into his own hands. So it is what it is. And the police, like I said, we need to better train our police. We need to go ahead and make this happen because in the meantime, people are still dying. So we need to go ahead and make this happen so that people can stop getting senselessly murdered by police. So let's do something about that. Let's get that police reform in there. Communities, let's come together and make something happen. Let's stop just talking about it and make something happen. Get some petitions out there. Whatever has to be done, let's get it done. So that we can bring some change in our police system, the policing all around this everywhere actually, because it's gotten out of hand, and now everybody's able to carry guns, so the police is almost like they'll be justified now for feeling all scared and shooting people. Let's think, people. Let's think. Just because we're able to carry guns now, you still have to be smart about doing it. You have to be smart because if someone's trying to mess with you, by all means, pull out your gun. Even if you don't shoot them, pull it out. But if someone is doing like a mass shooting or about to do a mass shooting or just a shooting period, leave that for the cops, please. Leave that for the cops. They have bulletproof vests. You don't have that. Okay? So, just think. Everybody needs to think before they act. And consider the consequences and possible outcomes of your actions before you take them. And with that being said, that's this show. I just wanted to put that out there. And like I said before in the show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on uploads. And also, again, you can go and check us out on all of the podcast platforms that's out there. Like I said, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. It's like several other ones. I can't remember the name of all of them, but they're there. Just go check us out. All of those links will be in the description, so just click on them and go check them out. Okay. With that being said, you guys stay safe, stay up, and until next time.